This is seriously one of the most elegant rose ouds I've ever got my nose on. So let's review Taif Oud now. Hey, what's up? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, hit that subscribe button down below and also be sure to check out my Instagram page. But that's right, guys. In my hands, I have such an elegant, luxurious fragrance that I'm so excited to be bringing to your attention. But before we do, I actually want to shout out Roja Parfums for sending this over for review. They are the distributor for Roja Parfums and many other niche brands into the United States. So yeah, shout out to those guys, but that would not persuade my opinions on this fragrance at all. Now, let's go over some information. This fragrance was launched in 2023, at least this rebranded bottle, because it used to actually be an exclusive to Fortnum & Mason, which is a UK, I believe, retailer that was exclusive over there, but it was also called Taif Oud, but I've never got my nose on that. But now Roja pretty much relaunched it worldwide, so it's not exclusive anymore. The retail price for the only size it comes in, which is the 100 ml, is actually going to run you $765, guys, which actually makes it the most expensive fragrance in my entire collection. I know that is extremely expensive and isn't going to be for everybody. There is a certain clientele for this sort of fragrance. And also, at the end of the day, when it comes to perfumery, it is an artwork, it is art based, so the artist can charge whatever they want for their creation pretty much, even though it is very, very expensive. For the concentration, this is an extrait de parfum, which is always a good thing because that just means you are getting the highest of perfume oils in your fragrance. And of course, the perfumer behind all of Roja Parfums is Roja Dove himself. He's obviously the owner of this brand and he creates all of his fragrances as well, which I just love when the owner of a brand is also the perfumer of the brand. I just think they put maybe more work into their creations and things like that. So yeah, he is the nose behind this one. With all that information out of the way, let's go look at the beautiful packaging and presentation you get with Taif Aoud now. All right, first off, let's look at this box. Of course, you expect nothing less from the house of Roja Parfums. Very luxurious packaging. This box is part of like the parfum boxes. I think like Aoud comes in this, Amber Aoud, etc. So it's very nice. Of course, you have the Roja Dove signature all on the sides and the front. A fragrance by Roja Dove made in England on the back. On the bottom, you do have a sticker, but it is kind of hard to see with your batch code right there as well. And you pop up the top like that, nothing really inside, but you have this very nice silk kind of blanket where your bottle lies. Just all in all, the box is stunning. Let's look at the bottle now. All right, let's just take a moment to appreciate this absolute work of art of a bottle, guys. This is one of the most luxurious looking bottles within my entire collection. Of course, you have that gold plaque on the front, Taif Oud Parfum, but look at that cap. That's where the beauty is right there. It's very shiny. You have like those crystals on the cap. Roja Dove signature embossed in the collar of the cap there as well. On the bottom, you do have your sticker with some information and your batch code engraved into the bottle. Nothing on the back. Now, these caps are very, very heavy. And I think they are gold plated if I'm not mistaken. Nothing on the atomizer. And these do hold on by friction, but they hold on very snugly so you don't have to worry about dropping the bottle if you pick it up by the cap. In the top, you have aldehydes and bergamot. In the mid, you have cassis, geranium, clove, jasmine, ylang ylang, and taif rose. In the base, you have musk, patchouli, incense, oud, benzoin, vanilla, and labdanum. And this fragrance will be classified as a floral oriental. So let's spray this and test out these Roja Parfums atomizers. Look at that. That just speaks for itself, guys. One of the best atomizers in the game. It sprays a ton of juice and is pressurized. So let's go ahead and remind myself of the opening of Taif Aoud now. Right away, this is not going to smell like any other rose oud you ever smelled in your life. It opens up very, very bright and sparkling from, of course, those aldehydes. Now, aldehydes are usually known for being in like Chanel's, like old school Chanel's, even like Chanel No. 5, which is a woman's fragrance. But in here, the aldehydes do not come across dated by any means, guys. It's very sparkling, slightly fizzy as well, too. And you also get a burst of a juicy grapefruit, just bringing a nice citrus to the top also. I've just honestly never smelled a rose oud as clean as this fragrance. It just comes across so refreshing and luxurious. And even though the opening is very clean, sparkling, kind of transparent, and citrusy, it definitely is still very, very potent. It's so strong off of the opening, so don't think it might be a weak fragrance based on those characteristics, because it's not at all. This stuff definitely comes across like it's an extrait de parfum. Now, once we do make our way into the mid of Taif Aoud, is when you're gonna get a very floral bouquet of flowers, guys. But the main flower, of course, is that Taif rose, which is one of the most exotic rare roses in the entire world and one of the most expensive roses as well. I believe it's only found over in Saudi Arabia, and I believe it also only blooms like 1 month out of the entire year. So yeah, very, very rare. And I would also imagine that's why this bottle is so expensive, is because of that natural Taif rose. I actually heard that it takes like 40,000 rose petals to create like 10 mils of fragrance. So that is just mind-blowing to me, guys, to think of how much roses you actually need to create a fragrance, especially when they're using natural rose. I would absolutely love to visit Saudi Arabia sometime because they're known for their rose gardens, and I heard it's absolutely beautiful. Now, like I said, in the mid, you are gonna get a bunch of florals. Obviously, the rose is the main one, but you also get this jasmine. Now, to my nose, it's not really like a dirty, earthy jasmine. It's not really powdery either, which is a great thing for me. It just brings more of a cleanness to the fragrance, just very, very clean from the top and mid so far. But trust me, it's not always gonna stay this clean, especially once we get into the base. I honestly don't even feel worthy of wearing this fragrance because of how expensive this smells. It literally smells like a Saudi Arabia king should actually be wearing this one, to be honest with you. So luxurious. One of the most kind of luxurious fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. Pretty much spraying this one on, you instantly just turn into a king yourself. It just gives you that king vibe, that kind of mentality mindset. Like you're basically gonna rule the world and everyone's gonna respect you, is the vibe I get with this fragrance right away. Now the base, finally once we get into the base, is where you're gonna get that oud. Of course, hence the name Taif Aoud. You are gonna get a nice oud in here. Now the oud, to my nose, doesn't come across very barnyardy, doesn't come across very earthy or dirty or anything like that. It's not pungent or nothing. It just kind of brings a woodiness and exoticness to this, and a lot of depth, because so far the fragrance has been very, very clean, citrusy, and floral, but now we're finally getting to the depth of this one. And this is obviously a very complex fragrance. In my opinion, Roja does make some of the most complex creations in perfumery, hands down. Most of the fragrances are like 3 fragrances in one, always changing on your skin from the top, mid, and base. And this one is no different, it's extremely complex. I would say if you're not usually a fan of the rose oud combos when it comes to fragrances, which is so played out, there's so many of those genre of fragrances nowadays especially, you should still check out Taif Aoud because it's very unique and it's not your typical rose oud that we have come to know now. Because that Taif rose is very pink too. It's very pink, very kind of clean. I heard it actually can't smell like honey or tea or something like that, which maybe the tea part slightly, but it's not a jammy kind of luscious red rose. Very pink. All right, back to the base, guys. Pretty much alongside that oud note, you are gonna get this very clean white musk that's not animalic at all. It just brings some more cleanliness to the composition. But you also do get a slight incense, like the spiritual incense, that is just a little bit warm and comforting. It's not necessarily smoky or anything like that. Now the benzoin and vanilla is listed, but I get no like spiciness, I get no vanilla, no benzoin at all. Just mostly that oud, musk, and a slight incense note. So just to run down this DNA again really quick, like I said, it opens up very sparkling, almost fizzy and clean from the aldehydes and bergamot, which dries down to that very exotic pink Taif rose, along with a clean jasmine. And in the base, you're gonna get obviously that exotic oud, with that clean white musk and a slight incense. This all in all a very well done fragrance from the master himself, Roja Dove. He did a fantastic job, and this is a very nice fragrance to go along his other ouds in his collection, like the original Aoud, Amber Aoud, of course, Muscat Aoud, and now obviously Taif Aoud. I definitely need to try others, especially Amber Aoud. I'm very curious about that one. Now let's talk about the best seasons and occasions to wear Taif Aoud. I would honestly say this one works the best in the fall, winter, and springtime. Not so much the summer, even though it is very clean and floral. There's just something that's so deep about that oud in the base that it honestly could become a little bit too much in the high heat. So stay away from the like summertime. Stick to the colder months, especially like nice evens in the spring. This stuff is absolutely the best for. It's an interesting fragrance to wear like in the winter because of how clean it is, but it does wear really kind of thick on skin, especially being an extrait de parfum, even though it is very clean and has that kind of aldehydes as well. It's honestly a very different fragrance than I've ever smelled in my life, especially how it wears too. But as far as occasions, this is without a doubt a formal fragrance by far, like only for formal situations in my opinion. Like I said a little bit earlier, you spray this one on, you instantly just turn into a king. It just switches your mindset. That's how kind of like upscale and formal this one actually is. So just stick to the formal events like a wedding, possibly a date night if you're going to like a fancy dinner or something like that. If you're dressing up in a dress shirt, a tuxedo, a suit, anything along those lines, this one's suited for. It would just be crazy like wearing this one, walking around in a hoodie and like jeans, but obviously you still can. You can wear anything whenever you want during any occasion. Just when I smell this one, obviously it leans on the formal side. Now for gender and age groups. So this is unisex. Like I can picture a woman pulling this one off beautifully and also a guy pulling this one off very well. Right down the middle, unisex, even though you do get that very kind of pink rose in the mid, that is very dominant, one of the most dominant notes in here. It still does have this masculine touch with that oud and obviously the musk and a slight incense in the base. So yeah, very unisex. Both a man and a woman can wear this one, so don't worry about that. This honestly might be one of the best rose ouds for a woman if you're looking to get into that genre of fragrances because like I said earlier, this one's very unique. It's a very different take on that genre, and it is very fresh and floral that a woman can wear this one very well. And I know a lot of women don't like rose ouds because of the fact how earthy, pungent, and barnyardy they usually are. So if you're a woman watching this one, this is one you might want to check out. Now for age groups. Now this one is also on the mature side. Probably anyone that's in their 25s and up will pull this one off the best. This is not your like teenage youthful fragrance at all. It's literally just for like the mature, wealthy, kind of made it in life person in my opinion. Like I said, 25s and up is the perfect spot for Taif Aoud. So for the performance of this fragrance, honestly I got above average performance on my skin. Like I said, this stuff wears like an extrait de parfum, even though from that note breakdown you might not expect it to perform that good, but trust me, this stuff lasts a long time. I got over 10 hours of good longevity on my skin. The projection was also very nice, especially from that fizzy, sparkling opening. It just screamed off the skin loud. And it's crazy too, because I wore this one to church. I might have sprayed a little bit more than I should have. And I had like people around me cough, and I was like, oh no, it's probably because of this fragrance, because I wasn't expecting it to be that strong as it actually was the first time I wore it. And I overdid it a little bit. Just be wary of that. This one does wear a lot heavier than it smells. So that's gonna do it for my review of the new Taif Aoud by Roja Parfums. Let me know down below if you actually tried the original from Fortum and Mason. I'm very curious about that. Or if you're deciding on picking this bottle up or even sampling or anything along those lines, let me know down below. But besides that, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.